We're just checking the mic. Hello, beautiful people. Hopefully you can hear me. I see Jill here. Hi, Jill. So good to have you. Welcome, everybody. And hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer Diamond, and I'm a certified plant-based nutrition coach living a whole food plant exclusive lifestyle for health and well-being. And living this way, it literally gave me my life back after suffering through so many illnesses and diseases, including being bedridden for 14 months. I truly believe it can help you too. And that's why I'm here for you today. So I just want to welcome everyone. Hello, Marilyn. I see Marilyn in the chat. And I just want to let you guys know that if you have any questions or you just have a comment, please engage. We love the interaction. That's part of the fun of going live. And so just put it in the chat. If you happen to be watching this as a replay, you could still go ahead and place a comment and we will get back to you as soon as we can. So before we get into everything today, I just want to take a moment just to let you know, for those of you that saw our video that went up yesterday, Monday, it was about when we were traveling a few months back, and it was a fun time, and it was also a very challenging and difficult time because that's when my father passed away. But I just wanted to take a quick minute just to thank you so much for those of you who took the time and watched it and said such wonderful, heartwarming, supportive comments. I just wanted to say thank you. So anyways, today it's going to be a really fun, informative look into a little known plant that should absolutely be getting way more attention than it is. And it's called Purslane. So I want to start out with a question. So have you ever heard of Purslane before? Let me know in the chat. And it's fine if you have, and it's fine if you haven't. You know, of course, speaking of the chat, I like I mentioned already, I always like to hear from you. And so anyways, I also want to mention, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button and notification bell, and that will let me know that you're enjoying the content. Also, if you're interested in more information, including discounts that I can offer on products that I love, or coaching, or to sign up for my newsletter, then just go to thejenniferdiamond.com. And if you already have subscribed, then I want to take a second just to thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support. So, okay, so back to Purslane. All right, Purslane, which I have right here, and we are going to get deep into this. Purslane is also called several other names, right? Including pigweed, little hogweed, fatweed, verdeglaga, is that how you say it? And pursley. It's also sometimes referred to as common purslane, garden purslane, or wild portulaca. Try to say that one 10 times fast. And it's a succulent, like a leafy green that's been consumed for thousands of years. It has a thick, fleshy leaf or leaves, and it's got a slightly lemony tang to it, just and a little bit of a crunch, which is ironic. The leaves are very tiny. We're gonna take a real close look in a little bit, and it grows just about everywhere, from the Mediterranean to the United States to India to Australia. Maybe you've even seen it growing, or you get this, right? Between the cracks in the sidewalk, or popping up uninvited in your garden. It's true. And it has been thought to be a weed, right? A lot of people say that's a weed. Well, guess what? it's not really a weed. It just looks like a weed. It's actually a nutrient powerhouse with an incredible history, impressive nutritional profile, and all kinds of health boosting benefits. It's on the list of superfoods all around the world. So maybe you've never heard of it. Maybe you have. We're going to check the chat and see. And also, I want to continue to welcome people. Okay, so let's see. I have Jill that says, I've heard of it, but I've never tried it. Estelle Jacobs says, hello, Estelle. Kenneth is here. Hello, Kenneth. Leanne Long, hi all, glad I caught this. Well, welcome everybody. And if anyone else would like to share if they've ever heard of Purslane, we would love to know. And so it sounds like Jill has. I want to say that until recently, I had not. Todd, had you?
I have never heard of it before in my life.
But now you have. Okay, so here's a question for you guys. Do you know the difference between Purslane and spurge? Now you might be going, oh my gosh, I didn't know what Purslane was. What's spurge? And that's okay if you don't know. But I'm going to talk a little bit about what Purslane is. Then we're going to talk a little bit about spurge. We're going to show it, and I'm going to tell you why it's so important to know the difference. So what is Purslane? Purslane is considered one of the most nutrient-dense wild plants in the world. I mean, can you believe it? In fact, researchers from the University of Texas and others have found that it contains more omega-3 fatty acids than any other leafy green. Yes, I really said that. And that's a huge win for those of us eating plants exclusively and wanting to keep our inflammation down like I do and our omega-3s up. You know, we tend to talk a lot about omega-3s through flaxseed and chia seeds, but this is amazing and full of it. And the best part is, if you know what to look for, it's often free, because it grows in the wild, in gardens, in the parks. It's everywhere once you know what to look for. And it's important to know what to look for, because you could get into trouble if you don't know what to look for. So now this one here, this is a bunch, right? And I did not find this one on my own. I actually purchased it last weekend, actually 3 days ago, at our local farmer's market. And here's where things get interesting and important. Purslane has a not so awesome look-alike, right? There's something out there that looks a lot like Purslane, but it isn't Purslane at all. It's called spurge. And spurge is toxic. So if you're going to go out and start like looking for wild Purslane to pick it and eat it, just please make sure that you're able to tell them apart. So I think it'd be a good idea. I think we have an image. I want to show you close up of Purslane and spurge. So they both grow low to the ground. They both have leaves coming out from the center point and in a circle shape, even though mine look like a bunch because they've been cut up. But if you find it wild, you'll find it kind of in a circle shape. And if you purchase the seeds for Purslane to grow them from a seed company, like you grow yourself, it can actually grow, I've heard, about 4 inches in height, as opposed to the wild Purslanes, which grow close to the ground. So Purslane has smooth reddish stems that are round in shape. And I'm going to show you some right here. So I'm just going to try to get close up here. So this is my Purslane, right? And I've cleaned it. Of course, I said it's a couple days old. I'm going to put this plate down, but you can see that the leaves, and I'll just pick one off. They're just these little tiny leaves. They're so cute. And you can see that in the stems, it looks like a little bit of reddish. And that's true. They do have a reddish stem. and they're smooth. The leaves are smooth, and they're this kind of round shape. They're also like a fat teardrop shaped leaves, which is actually kind of the one that I started to show you. Maybe I'll do it this way, kind of like this fat teardrop shaped leaves, and they grow in clusters around the stems. Now, I'm going to taste it, and it's got kind of this slight lemony, not super lemony, but more peppery taste, I think. And we're going to have Todd share in some flavor tasting a little bit later. It's a succulent texture. So if you've ever seen succulents, I mean, we have them all over here in Arizona. They're smooth and beautiful. Spurge, I happen to have some. I went out and got it. We just went out and got this. I was on a walk with Remy this morning, and I was looking on the ground, and I found spurge, and it's everywhere. I just didn't realize what it was. So I went back a little later, and I picked some out of the ground, and I want to show it to you. So this one, I actually just pulled the root out, right? So this, on the other hand, is like thin. It's a wiry stem, and even though you can see that it's a reddish stem, the leaves are very tiny. I hope you can kind of see this. And if I try to open it, it is kind of a round shape on the ground. This one, I didn't pull it, I cut it, and so that's why I have two there. And so, let's see. The thin, wiry stems of the spurge, while they can be the reddish that I talked about, they can often be found as a green or purplish. They've got, like I said, this small kind of matte leaves that grow opposite each other. So those are some of the differences. Now, probably the biggest giveaway that it's spurge and not purslane is that spurge has a milky sap coming out of the stem. Okay, so when you clip off a piece, if it oozes like a milky white sap, then you know it's spurge. By the way, the white sap is toxic if it's ingested. So don't eat spurge, okay? Except for dandelion. Most leaves that you pick in the wild that have a white Elmer's glue type substance oozing out of them are a really good sign to just put it down because it's not edible. So I'm going to take a minute here and check the chat as well as show you what I mean. We're going to cut, and I'm going to show you that white. Hopefully it will do it for me. Anything new in the chat, my love? Okay, so let's see. We have Leanne Long says, let's see. Yeah, as a gardener, it's often considered a weed. There are different varieties that grow in various areas. Oh, so that's interesting. Yes. And I do want to say hello. I see Natalie Dixon's here. Hello, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Leanne also says spurge leaves aren't as fleshy as purslane. Yes, and I think the stems let off a little milky substance. So you are educated on this when broken. If I'm not mistaken, correct me, and correct me if I am wrong. You're not, and your yard is full of it. Okay, so I'm going to use this scissors here, and I'm going to do first on this one because this one is not toxic. And I just want to take a little bit, and I'm just going to cut this off. Just cut a little piece off. And I hope you can see that there, and I don't know how easy this is to see, but there is like nothing oozing out of there. Nothing at all. It's just there. Now, this one, whoops. This one, let's see where I can maybe cut some. And I'm going to cut it right here. Da, 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 da. I don't know if you could see it. It might be really hard to do this, but there is some, oh my gosh, it's spilling everywhere. Can you guys see this? There's a little tiny bit of milky white kind of stuff that's just pouring out a little bit off the top. And so that is what I'm talking about. And if it's hard for you to see, you can always experiment in your yard. I just want to move that scissor because we used it on the toxic stuff and I do not want to accidentally ingest that. So I'm washing my hands as well. So anyways, it's really interesting. Oh, Leanne Long says, I pulled a bunch of spurge from my beds. Yeah, that's great because like we're learning, you don't want to ingest that. Okay, so purslane is, we'll just go back to that for a minute, is known for sucking up any type of moisture. This is the purslane. This is the stuff that we want to eat. This is the superfood. This is the good one. And you know, it's known for sucking up any type of moisture that it was ever exposed to. So let's say you find some that's in the wild, but you're looking on the ground and you see some, you know, check if it's like a neighborhood. Some of those areas were sprayed with chemicals for killing weeds. Well, if this gets sprayed, it's probably has absorbed all the chemicals in it and then it becomes toxic. So, you know, if you're in an area where it's like nowhere near that kind of thing and you find it and you know that it's doesn't have the white coming out and it's all the things that we talked about, or you're growing it in a garden bed, then of course it's safe and delicious and wonderful. So if you're ever in doubt about the chemical sprays or aren't sure if it's purslane or spurge, just don't harvest it. Okay, don't take a chance. But once you get the hang of it, identifying purslane becomes pretty easy. So I'm told, I've said we did not harvest this. We bought this at the farmer's market. So I want to check the chat. Do you know the difference between purslane and spurge? And I saw that Jill, I think, said no. And so now we talked about it, and I bet you might know now. And I want to say hello, Nancy. Glad to have you here. Okay. So what about the health benefits of purslane? Because there are a lot of health benefits. So here's a question. Are you working on your brain health, your gut health, or reducing inflammation? Any of those? And what foods are you focusing on right now if you are? And it's okay if you're not, but I would love to hear. And while you guys are writing in the chat, hopefully I'm going to let you know that this wonderful green leafy vegetable is very low in calories and fat. Nonetheless, it's rich in dietary fibers, vitamins, and minerals. I think it's like 16 calories for 100 grams or something. Very, very low, just like most greens, you know, and it has a glycemic load that's close to 0, making it a wonderful addition to meals. And for anyone managing your blood sugar, or you're trying to reduce inflammation through your diet, something I'm always trying to do, this is a great one. Why is that? Because it's hydrating and also full of things so wonderful like potassium. It helps maintain electrolyte balance. It supports detoxification. It's just an incredible superfood and it earns its name. And so, like I mentioned earlier, the fresh leaves contain surprisingly more omega-3 fatty acids, the ALA, which is the alpha linolenic acid. I finally could say that. It's hard to say that one. So try to say that 10 times fast, huh, Todd? No, you're not.
I'm not going to do that.
Well, it has more of the ALAs than any other leafy vegetable plant, including spinach and kale. So, you know, we tend to go to those that we know, but this one just really deserves to be put out there on the stand. You know, it's 100 grams of fresh purslane leaves provide about 350 milligrams, which is about 3.5 ounces of ALA. That's a lot. That's really good. So Purslane's omega-3s and antioxidant compounds support brain health by they reduce oxidative stress, supporting the structural integrity of brain cells, which is amazing, enhancing neurotransmitter function, helping to stabilize mood and reduce symptoms of even depression and anxiety. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Integrative Medicine even showed that purslane extract had neuroprotective effects against Alzheimer's disease, while other research studies showed that consumption of foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, like purslane that we just talked about, may reduce the risk of coronary heart disease, stroke, and help prevent the development of ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity, autism, and other developmental differences in children. I mean, that says a lot. So it's also an excellent source of vitamin A, one of the highest among green leafy vegetables, because vitamin A is a powerhouse natural antioxidant and an essential vitamin for our vision. It's also required to maintain the healthy mucosis. So what's that? Well, it's the moist inner linings of some of our organs and our body cavities, such as the nose, the mouth, lungs, stomach, and even your skin. So consumption of natural vegetables and fruits that are rich in vitamin A is also known to help protect from lung and oral cavity cancers. I wish I had a drum roll right here. Go ahead. Da, 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 da.
That's about as close as it gets.
Okay, all right. Well, purslane is also a rich source of vitamin C and some B complex vitamins like riboflavin, niacin, pyridoxine, and carotenoids, as well as dietary minerals. And I'm always watching my minerals because those are things like iron, magnesium, calcium, potassium, and even manganese. So it's just amazing. Did you guys know all this? And before we go any further, I just want to check the chat and see if there are any questions or anything. Let's see what we have here. Oh, okay. I see. Oh, Leanne said she could see the white. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you could see it. Thank you. And then Leanne Long says, kind of focused on G-bombs right now. Well, that's great. That's Dr. Furman, Joel Furman, and he does the G-bombs. And let's see. Those are the, oh my gosh, what are the G-bombs? Greens. Is it G-bombs greens or grains? Beans, onions, mushrooms. I should know these because I eat them. I'm kind of blanking right now and challenging myself. I know, let's see, what are they? Hey, you guys, help me out. Okay, so while you guys are helping me out with that one, because I can't believe.
Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds.
Berries, that's what I tripped on. I said greens, but I also said grains, and it's not grains. Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds.
Correct.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Furman, and thank you, Leanne Long, for challenging me to remind myself what G-bombs are. And if you're not familiar with them and you want to check out, be sure to just Google Dr. Joel Furman. He's an amazing MD and talks and teaches us all about plants. Okay, so Leanne Long says, I hadn't considered growing it in my herb bed, but now I think I should. Yeah, of course you should. So that's great. And yes, greens, oh, she has beets instead of beans. Oh, beans, nope. Nancy, everybody, you guys came to the rescue. Thank you so much. And so, yes, some people forgot a few things, but it's fun. It's fun and it's challenging for us all to try to figure out some things that, you know, we forget sometimes. All right. So another thing that Purslane it contains glutathione, which is a powerful antioxidant naturally produced in the body, actually, and it plays a crucial role in protecting the cells from damage, and it supports our immune system. And it also, Purslane also contains tryptophan. Now, that is an essential amino acid that's needed for normal growth in infants and for the production and maintenance of the body's proteins, muscles, enzymes, and neurotransmitters. Wow, isn't that amazing? This means that your body, doesn't produce it on its own, so you have to get it from your diet. Tryptophan is a precursor to serotonin, so that is helping with mood and sleep because your body uses the tryptophan to produce the serotonin, which helps with the melatonin, which helps with the sleep and the wake cycle and all of that. So this is where it gets exciting for anyone looking to support cognition and emotional well-being through their food. So did anyone say anything about what they're working on in terms of brain health, gut health, reducing inflammation, or anything like that, honey?
Just the G-bombs.
Just the G-bombs. Okay, I love it. I love it. Love it. And I see Marilyn says, no, I did not know this. I love learning something new every day. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with me and with us, because we like knowing that we're helping you. Leanne Long says, it's a superfood. Yes, it is. Great to know. And I'm glad that that's helpful to you. Okay, so let's talk about inflammation. I am always thinking about lowering my inflammation, get that inflammation down, because that's been a big deal for me, and things that I never really realized were, through food was a cause of a lot of my problems. So talking about inflammation, a root cause of so many chronic diseases. Purslane's anti-inflammatory properties make it especially helpful for autoimmune conditions, which I have one. A lot of people have them. Heart health. A lot of people have that. Joint pain and arthritis, that's a big one. Even digestive issues like IBD or leaky gut. What's IBD? It's inflammatory bowel disease. And if you don't know what it is, well, hey, you're lucky, then maybe you don't have to deal with it. Purslane also supports kidney function. It detox pathways and is even great for skin health, which we mentioned before. It contains this like mucosage kind of mucus type of gel-like fiber, and that helps soothe the gut lining, and it feeds the beneficial bacteria that we all want, because that gut microbiome helps with our immune system and so many things. So here's another question. How has your relationship with wild or healing foods in general, it doesn't have to be this one, changed over the years? I can tell you, for me, I really started getting into mushrooms. Even though we've never foraged them, we personally, we had an opportunity, but it didn't happen when we were in Europe. But when we go to our farmer's market, they have mushrooms that are wild, and that, well, I guess if they grow them, are they wild? I don't know, but that's as close as I can get. Leanne Long says, upping my antioxidant foods. Yes. And it looks like Mary's Heirloom Seeds has Purslane seeds. Yes. And I think we mentioned something at the end here, but I can't remember. So if you're dealing with bloating or a sluggish digestion or food sensitivities, adding soothing greens like Purslane can be incredibly helpful. And, we talked about their succulents, and I feel like that soothingness comes out even in when we touch it. So some of the things that you can do with it, because you might be like, what do I do with it? Well, first of all, you're going to want to wash it. And I have already washed this, but it came in a rubber band and I clip the ends off. And then I just take, a strainer like this, and I put it over a bowl or whatever, and just kind of picking them off is one way to do it, and then rinsing this. But you can also just take the whole thing and rinse it, or soak it, in depending on how you clean your fruits and vegetables. And some people just literally just pick them off and put them in there to clean them. Now, I want to show you, I've already cleaned these, so I'm not going to do that, but I want to show you one way that I think is really fun to get these off. We could do it now or we could do it later, but it's basically, I'm trying to find a good piece. It's like stripping your kale, sort of. So maybe we'll do that in just a little bit, but I did want to show you that. Okay, and so some of the things that you can do with it is add it to raw salads. Or if you make potato salads, even raw potato salads or cooked potato salads, throw it in there. Mix it with cucumbers and tomatoes and fresh herbs for a Mediterranean style salad. You could just take some romaine lettuce and just add it to that. If you are into stir fries, you could do a dry or water stir fry and stir fry other vegetables. And then you can add it in at the end. You can stir it into soups and stews, into curries, stir it into curries. Just make sure that you cook it the way you would cook spinach. So I like to add things at the end and kind of let the spinach wilt. Same idea here. Another one that's really great, add it to your favorite smoothies. That is something that you could do. It's a green, just treat it like spinach. The stem is edible. So if you're gonna, don't wanna have the stem, you could put the stem in the smoothie. You could even saute it lightly with some fresh garlic and maybe a little lemon, and then you just have this side dish. I even considered making like a gazpacho today, but we're not going to do that. So you can blend it up and make all kinds of incredible things with it. And then just want to talk briefly about some of the places in the world and what they do with it. So like in Greece, it's tossed into what they call village salads. And I don't know, has anyone ever heard of village salads? A village salad we know here in the United States as a Greek salad. So that's usually like tomatoes, onions, olives, that kind of thing. Well, traditionally they would use feta cheese, but we here don't ingest that anymore. In Mexico, it's called verdolagas, and it's often simmered with tomatilla salsa. That sounded so good when I heard about that. And we're big salsa fans over here, huh?
Yes, we are.
You especially, but you like the heat.
I do like the heat.
You like the heat.
We'll have to spice up the purslane.
We can. In India, it's used in dal, which is a beautiful dish, and spiced stews, if you get into that. And in Turkey, it's eaten cold with garlic and yogurt. And I just hope that it's plant-based yogurt. And so, wow, I even heard that Martha Washington, George Washington's wife, had recipes in like her own cookbook that she created to share how she used purslane. And it's no wonder Hippocrates and other ancient physicians even used it medicinally. It's been around for a long time. So if you're not familiar with Hippocrates, he was a physician that was born in Greece in 460 BC. He was often called the father of medicine because he completely changed how people thought about health and sickness back then. So instead, because back then they would blame the gods if someone got sick. So instead of blaming the gods, he believed that diseases had natural causes and that our environment, diet, and lifestyle choices played a huge role in our health. Wow. way to go, right? He also emphasized the importance of observing patients really closely to understand the illnesses. And he tried to figure out the best way to help them to get better. So that's a little bit about him. He's also the namesake to the Hippocratic Oath, that Western
Hippocratic Oath.
I'm sorry. Just making sure you're listening. That oath, the physicians are required to take when they are practicing medicine. So you want to make sure that, say it again.
Hippocratic Oath.
The Hippocratic Oath.
Hippocratic Oath.
Came from?
Hippocrates.
That's right.
A long time ago.
A long, long time ago. Oh, a long, long time ago. Okay, I'll stop. Anything going on in the chat? Just want to see. It looks like everything is good. Oh, Leanne Long said, "Ooh, I bet it would be good in gazpacho." Yes, I know it. I think it. I was going to do it today, but maybe you'll do it instead and let us know. Tag us, and I'd love to see a picture of your finished product. So there is a few things that I think you need to know before loading up on Purslane. Purslane contains oxalic, okay? Oxalic acid. That's a naturally occurring substance that's found in certain vegetables, which may crystallize as oxalate stones in the urinary tract in some people. So just, don't get all crazy. Fresh leaves contain, 1.31 grams of oxalic acid per 100 grams. So that's more than what is found in spinach. Spinach is more like 0.97 grams per 100 grams. So for people that have known oxalate urinary tract stones, then you might want to minimize or avoid consuming purslane. And then, certain other vegetables that are from the brassica family. So drinking adequate amounts of water, which is good for anyone, but it's encouraged to support normal urine output. And of course, just check with your healthcare professional. They know you. They are the experts. I'm just sharing information. I am not advising at all. So anybody say anything in the chat about how has your relationship with wild food changed over the years? Nothing. What about you, Todd? You want to share your feedback on that?
I think just one of the benefits of being married to you is we're eating more wild foods.
We're eating more
so
wild foods.
my relationship has changed, as has yours.
Okay, well, I want to ask you to come over here. I tasted a little piece. I'd like you to just taste it and share with everyone, what happens, because it kind of bursts in your mouth and yeah, so you can choose any leaf that you want.
I will take whichever one you hand me.
I'm going to let you choose.
This one is closest.
Oh, wow. That's a whole thing here.
Okay, well, I'll just take this little piece.
Yeah, do whatever. You can eat the stem or you can just eat the leaf.
All right. I'm checking to make sure this is not the spurge.
Now, how would you check it?
Well, it's not oozing white Elmer's glue looking stuff.
And
the leaves are plump.
Yes.
And not wiry.
Okay.
And because I've been watching the whole time to make sure that that's the spurge.
No, that's really good. And I believe that the spurge leaves grow differently. Their formation is different than this. And so, all right.
So we're eating this?
Yeah.
It is. It does have a little bit of a peppery taste. Mm-hmm. Not like an arugula pepper, but.
So for you, arugula
nice.
or rocket, some places they call it rocket, is I don't want to say challenging for you, but it's a bittery flavor, and I like it.
It's a flavor. And no, this is good. I like this. It's much more mild. It's I just find it amazing that something as with the nutrient profile that this has, that you don't hear that much about it. And it grows in abundance, as a weed in sidewalks and parks and things. It's bizarre to me that we, and probably others, have never even heard of this.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's amazing. Now, do you find that some people find that there's just an underline or an undertone of lemon? Do you have any lemon or just peppery? And it may change from, it may vary from crop or variety. Yeah.
I mean, I do. I get a little bit of a tartness to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, we're going to be making a little something here with it.
Yay.
And I will want you to help in tasting that as well. So,
can't wait.
Yeah. So it's versatile. It's affordable. And as I had just mentioned, deeply woven into many traditional cuisines. Thank you, Todd. You stepped away and I didn't get a chance to say thank you for coming up.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah. The fact that it's labeled a weed in many places is really a sign, I believe, of how disconnected we've become from our food sources. I mean, this is not the whole bunch. We had probably, I don't know, maybe another cup or two in addition to this. And I believe we paid $3 for this whole bunch at our local farmer's market when we got it. So I think that's really inexpensive. What do you think?
Well, I mean, finding it free in the sidewalk would be better, but.
That's true. But if you're going to buy it and a local farmer has grown it, I mean, I think $3 for a big bundle wasn't too bad. So now, if you're buying it in a market, if you're buying it in a grocery store, this Purslane, I want you to carefully inspect it for mold, yellow or dark spots, as they indicate inferior quality. And so, who knows how long it's been around. So always try to find the fresh organic produce whenever possible. I know it's not always possible, but whenever it is. And of course, if you're like Leanne Long and you have the ability or you want to give it a try to grow it yourself, of course, that's a wonderful win-win. Now, I know I found that it can even be ordered on Amazon, which I thought was interesting, as a capsule form. But I was like, I'm not sure why, but I thought that was interesting to share. I guess maybe as a supplement for people who are looking to increase their intake of the omega-3s or all of the other nutrients that we talked about. So, are we going to put a link? I think we are going to put a link in the description in case you're interested, just to see it. Because
we can put a link in the description after this ends.
Yeah, but we never tried it, just found it to be interesting. And so it's just for you to check into if you want. So if you're foraging it yourself, make sure to wash it really well, just like you would with any other leafy green, of course, and only harvest it from places that are free from pesticides and pollutions, like we mentioned earlier. And if you do not know how to do this, then you might want to investigate it a little bit more and find someone who's been harvesting it before, and maybe they can help teach you, like, out there, right? So if you have fresh purslane, then you could do what I did. I simply rinse the leaves and the stems in clean, cold running water to remove, there could be sand or residue, insecticides, fungicides, all kinds of sides. After cleaning it, however we talked about, then just pat it dry with a soft, absorbent cloth. I like to put my greens usually on, I lay them out over there, and sometimes I layer them with a clean kitchen towel. So you just want to remove any excess moisture before storing it, because you don't want to enhance growth of mold. So, like I talked about earlier, and I'll just mention, you can either pick these off one leaf at a time, or you can do like I talked about earlier, grab the stem. Well, we didn't actually show the strip down. So let me show what I mean here. So let's say I'm going to just take this piece and break it off. Okay, so you've got it here. Whoops, and here's my, and now you just come off so easily. And then I just grab the top and I just kind of take my finger and just go downward and they fall off. Now those had little stems too, so that maybe wasn't a super great example, but let me try to find one. Now, I like to do that a lot with kale, or you could do it with thyme or rosemary fresh. You know, when you try to get it off the stem, you go against it and it just kind of comes off. Let's try this one maybe. Whoop. See, and then it just kind of falls off here. And then, you know, you could still eat this, but those are a couple ways that you can easily take it off. I'll tell you what I experienced. Oh my gosh. So I did both, you know, rinsing it and then on the stem and then stripping it. And when I had it in the colander and I was rinsing it and cleaning it, I found that they were sticking all over my hand. So I was just like doing this whole thing for like a while. So just keep that in mind. Patience, get to know your food. It's wonderful to be able to have time to just interact with your food. And I believe that that's part of digestion and healing also. So like I said, you can use the stems in your cooking. I personally, if I was going to use it in my cooking, I would chop it finely. If I'm going to put it in a smoothie, I would just briefly chop it. I have not tried juicing it, but I bet you could juice it if you have a lot, right? But the leaves, I think, are the fun part to eat. And you know, again, notice that the stem doesn't have anything coming out of them like that milky white substance. And that means that you're good. Okay, so how do we store it? Well, you can store it in the refrigerator for about 3 or 4 days, but it should be consumed while the leaves are still fresh and not wilted. I feel like I pushed it, you know. I really wanted to get this and have it for today because I wasn't sure where else I could get it any sooner. And so I would say wait until you're ready to actually use it, and then go ahead and buy it and consume it as soon as possible so that it's super, super fresh. Now, I am going to take this toxic one away because I think we have time to do a little recipe. So let me just put this over here. And so yes, I would love to have had time to even get more of the purslane out and taken off for this recipe, but I have what I have. So you just want to take a bowl, and I have some things over here I'm going to share with you. So the first thing I want to add is the purslane. Well, you can add it, maybe I'll wait because I want to mix it up. So actually what I'm going to start with is cucumber, and I already chopped up cucumber. I love cucumber. It's very full of water and delicious. And so, and I also have, so I'm going to pour that in here, all the cucumber. And then I have some cilantro. You can leave the cilantro out if you don't like cilantro, or you can sub it for parsley. But it is a wonderful herb. And so I'm going to go ahead and add it in here. And I do enjoy chopping the stems up as well. And so we have those two things. Now, the next thing I want to do is add some mint. Now, this particular recipe is like a purslane cucumber avocado salad. So I guess I really didn't say that, but we're going to go ahead and continue to add more things to it. And so this is the mint. I cut up some mint. I love mint. If you don't like mint, you could use dill. Dill is really great. You can use any kind of extra herb that has a nice flavor to it. Now, I'm also going to add some tomato because I love color. What if you don't want tomato? It's kind of wet, maybe, you know, I don't know. Well, then go ahead and maybe put in red bell pepper or orange or yellow. I like the red ones, but all of them are fantastic. Something with color. That's what I would say. And then I want to add, so I wanted to add some red onion, and I had this kind of a scallion that had some purple color to it. So I thought I would use it up, but red onion would be great. And, you know, put as much as you like or as little. I have quite a bit here. So I'll just, what the heck? Let's just put it in there. We chopped it already, right? All right. Now I want to add some fresh garlic. Now, if you don't like fresh garlic, or if it's not fine, this is like kind of chunky because I actually like the flavor of that. You can mince it super, super small, or you can use garlic powder or garlic granules. And that is really good. It gives it a little crunch. So I'm just going to add that right in here. And this was like, God, I should give you the how much of everything. But it was like 2 little cucumbers, 1 small tomato, just a handful of the mint, another handful of cilantro. I mean, I guess you get it. And then, of course, there was the garlic was 2 small cloves or 1 regular clove. Now, I want to add some avocado, but the first thing I want to do is add our superstar, the purslane. And here, look it, I have done a really good job of cleaning it and stripping it and all that stuff. Now, I didn't chop it. I'm just going to add that in there. And I have about a little less than a cup here. You can put up to 2 cups in this recipe. I just didn't have time to get as much. So that's the superstar, definitely. And then I'm going to want to go ahead and take an avocado. I like to add avocado. So I'm going to do about, you could do a half of an avocado, but I'm going to do a little less than half of an avocado. I just take the knife and open it up like that. And then I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to do like a checkerboard. You can slice it however you like. I like to do a little checkerboard, and so that it's kind of like bite-sized pieces. And then I'm going to go across. Hopefully you can see this. And then I'm going to use my spoon, and literally I'm just going to scoop it out, and it should scoop right out. And then pop it right in here. And there you go. Look at that. This is looking yummy. And I'm hungry today. So now the next thing we're going to want to do is add a little bit of some kind of a dressing. I am, if you're going to make dressing on the side, you certainly can. I'm just going to kind of toss it in here and then toss the whole thing. And that just resonates with me. So I've got my little thing here to mix up. And so you can toss now, but I'm going to actually just get lime. You can use lemon or lime. I have a half of a lime here. You can use as much as you like, really. There's no real recipe for this. If you like a strong flavor, add a little bit more and go slow in case you're not sure. And I'm just going to squeeze this with my favorite lime squeezer tool, if you know what I mean. And just get that in there. And let's see. Okay. And then I want to add some spices. So I've got sumac. Sumac reminds me of like a lemon flavor. And I'm also going to give it a little punch. So I've got some crushed red peppers. I literally did like 1/8 of a teaspoon of each. Do what works for you. If you like more, add more. And I'm just going to toss that in there. And then I'm also going to add some black pepper, give it a little twist 2, 3, whatever you like. You can even add fresh serrano peppers or jalapeno peppers, just cut them up finely. And if you don't like the spice, then when you cut into those, make sure to remove the seeds. The seeds are where the spice is. If you like the spice, like Mr. Todd, you can leave them in there. And then I'm just going to add, you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to add like, I don't know, a half a teaspoon of this apple cider vinegar, which isn't much, but it just kind of gives it a little more liquid. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to mix this up. This spoon is a new wooden spoon that I have. Kind of feel like I'm going to use, I wish I had a second one, but boy, doesn't this look good? Looks good, huh, babe?
It does.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you to come. We're going to taste this together. You know, another thing that I was hoping to have time for, but we really didn't, was I was going to do a smoothie. And so I could just share with you that I was going to do and maybe I'll do it at another time, but the fresh purslane with some hemp seeds, oranges, maybe some vanilla bean powder, a little bit of either date syrup or some dates. That would have been good. And then you can add a little plant milk and blend it together. That would have been a great smoothie. I didn't have time to prep it all. So do you want to grab some silverware for us, my love?
Fork or spoon?
I would do a fork, and you do what works for you. And let me just show everybody this. I just want to make sure that everyone can see it. And of course, you can, change it up if you feel like you need a little bit more. Now, another thing that I usually add to my salads, is that for me? That's for you? Oh, thank you. Is the omegas. I usually like to add the ground up flaxseed, but because we have the purslane, I'm going to go ahead and call that my omegas. Now, you gave me this fork because I like the
smaller one.
And you like
I like the adult size.
Oh my gosh. All right. So let's go ahead and taste this. Hopefully I mixed it well and you can taste all the flavors. Oh my goodness. Okay, ready? Yep.
It's pretty fantastic.
I love that. Wow, you guys.
We didn't make enough.
We didn't make enough.
Nope.
We have all of this.
We should make more.
We will make more. You know what? That is really, really tasty. The purslane flavors mix really well with the combination of what we did the dressing with. And also I love the combination of the wet tomato cucumber mixture with it. And even the creaminess of the avocado.
Yeah, there's a lot of good texture in there too. The creaminess of the avocado, the crunch from the cucumber, and the kind of stuff.
And the onion is in there. Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah, yay! Are you gonna have some more?
I might eat that.
Uh-oh, I'll have to make a second one.
I said we'll make more.
Oh my gosh! So hopefully you guys are enjoying today's chat. I do want to ask, what's one takeaway from today's episode that really stuck with you? We would love to hear that. So while we're waiting for you to let us know, I see Marilyn says, you're making me hungry. I don't know.
She's so hungry she didn't finish her sentence.
Okay, I'm just checking the chat. Let's make a dish time. Oh, okay. Anyways, the more we learn about wild greens like purslane, the more we remember that the earth really does provide what we need, just how it comes. We don't need to factory anything. It's just amazing. So sometimes it shows up in this weird form, right, of like a fancy superfood powder. And sometimes it shows up under our feet as a weed. Isn't that funny? The key is being open to learning, staying curious, and reconnecting with food that has deep roots, not just nutritionally, but historically and culturally too. Yes, what's one takeaway? We have Leanne Long says, think outside the produce department. Oh, I love that. I love that. That is fantastic. Yes. Think outside the produce department. That's fantastic. Thank you. Anybody else have any other takeaways that they would like to share that really stuck with them? I would love to hear. And Jill says, I want to try purslane. I hope you do. I really hope you do. And if you have a hard time finding it, maybe consider growing it if you can. And any other last questions or anything? Okay, so I just want to thank you so much for tuning in today. If you found this episode helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, like we talked about earlier. And if you're inspired to go out and find Purslane or try it in a new way, let me know in the comments or tag me on Instagram. I always am interested to see, what you come up with. So until next time, I want you to stay curious, stay vibrant, and keep nourishing your incredible, powerful self. And don't forget to eat your greens. And as I always say, give plants a chance. Take care, everyone, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.